Hello and welcome to another episode of The Melanated Veteran. I am your host, Miss Mesha, and before we begin, you should always know to share, like, and subscribe to The Melanated Veteran on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to check out our website at www.themelanatedveteran.com. So, today my guest is someone who I actually learned about from Anita Blue. I was asking her for some recommendations, and she says, hey, I got somebody. So, I was like, okay. So, please welcome. He is the co-host of Houston Wake Up. Please welcome Tristan Holmes.
Hello, everyone. This is Tristan, aka Go Hard or Go Holmes. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you for being on here. I started looking you guys up, especially the Houston Wake Up, and I was impressed. So thank you again for taking the time to do this.
No, thank you. Anytime.
All right, so let's begin. What branch were you in, and how long were you in the military?
So what branch am I currently in? I am currently in the Air Force, and I've been in 20 years, and I'm still serving to this day.
Okay. Thank you for your service.
Yeah,
continuing your service. Do you plan on being I'm assuming, you plan on being a lifer.
I'm definitely a lifer. Miss Anita is my mentor. She went 35. I'm not gonna do 35 as long as her. I don't think, Lord willing, that ain't my plan, but I'll probably do about 20s. I'll probably say 24, 26 years, maybe.
Okay. All right. And it'll go by fast too. So.
Yes, absolutely.
So what?
It's already go by fast,
right? So what made you decide to go into the Air Force?
Oh man, this kind of a funny story. So you ready to be entertained? So my parents wanted me to go into the Air Force. Mm-hmm. And it's a true story. They tried to convince me, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I know me. I'm a clown. Like I'm just not doing it. Like I'm just not. That ain't. I'm a loner. Like I'm just not. So I fought them. They actually took me to an active duty recruiter, and I was like, he gave me a spiel. And it was like the Air Force is the best. We know you're smart, so it's you gonna love it. I'm like, man. He started giving me the spiel, and I'm looking at him like, I ain't doing this. There's no way I'm doing this. So my mom my mom used to go out a lot, so she met this guard recruiter at a club, and he gave me his spiel. So. And my mom was like, she was sick of me at this time. I just had little jobs. I wasn't a bad kid, but I had like little jobs. So mom was like, either you're going to go to the Air Force or you're going to be homeless. So I picked the Air Force for $200, Alex. I was like, hey, I was like, hey, I don't want to be homeless. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't look good on these streets. So I decided to go to the Air Force.
Oh, that's crazy. I've never heard anybody say, oh, your mom said, look, you out. Like,
right.
Look, you gotta do this.
She told me. It's core, and I quote, you're going to either go to the Air Force or you're going to be homeless.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, don't want to be homeless. So the Air Force is it.
Wow. So since you've been in, tell me some positives, some highs that you've had since you've been in.
Oh man, I had a lot of highs, man. The people that I met in the Air Force, I would say the people. That is the number one thing. The relationships and the people that I met from all different backgrounds and cultures, and the places that I've been, and the things that I've been able to obtain because of the military and just the structure, and I needed it. Like, you know what I mean? If I don't have that structure, then I was a wild boy. I was a wild kid. I needed the structure. I still need it. So yeah, it keeps me focused. It keeps me grounded, and just, you know, it was just amazing. The relationships that I made, and a lot of, you know, I've been in a long time, so a lot of people have retired. Even with Miss Anita, she was my mentor, and I convinced her to get on Clubhouse, and then we became a duo. We end up doing the show together. But that was another relationship that I met in the military, and I met so many more. Like, she's just one of many. And I tell anybody, you know, the education benefits and all that is great, but the relationships and the people that you meet will last you for a lifetime. And these people are my brothers and sisters till this day, man. And it's remarkable. I can look, you know, speaking to you, I can look, you know, now. I never really reflect on it, but I'm reflecting now, and just the people that I met is priceless. I would never change it for the world. So
I agree. Like, there's just something about it that I don't think people that have never been in, they don't understand. Like,
and they never will.
Right.
Like, you never, you know, in the outside world, you don't have connections like that. Especially on a job. It's a job, you know.
Right.
You know, that's just your coworker, but it's not your in the military. That's not just your coworker. That's your brother, your sister. You know, their family. You know, their kids. Like, it's, you know, I done seen my friends' kids grow up. Like,
wow,
it's a difference.
It is. It definitely is. So, what advice, like, since you've been in for 20 years, what advice would you give someone who's right now they're kind of in between, trying to figure out if they want to stay in or get out? What advice would you give someone?
My advice to you is evaluate your circumstances. You know, look at your pros and cons. Make a list. Do you have a plan? If you're gonna get out, I don't mind people getting out, but have a plan. Because I met a lot of people who got out and didn't have a plan. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta have a plan. If you have a plan, then I hey, all for it. Get out and go for your opportunities. But make sure if you're gonna get out, make sure you have a plan. And because, I mean, you know, 9 times out of 10, you get out, it's over. And I know a lot of people who regret it. You know, I bet vice versa. It goes both ways. People was like, they thrive when they got out, but a lot of those people already had things in place and already was, you know, working on something before they got out. And then they got out and they thrived. But the people who didn't have a plan, you know, a lot of times they regret it because they was like, oh man, you know, it's like, hey, I'm out, and now I don't know who I am. I mean, especially if you've been in anything over 10 years, it's tough.
Right.
It's gonna be tough. That's a whole civilian life to military to civilian life is a whole different life.
Yes.
And so, and I'm trying to prepare myself for it, and I see how people move just now doing networking events, and I see how people move outside the military. They don't have the same integrity. They don't have the same values that you have. And so for you to get out, it's going to be an adjustment, because you're going to realize that these people are not cut from the same cloth as you.
Them gems. I'm telling you, people, like, there's I know one guy, he retired, and he was thinking that it was just gonna be all rainbows and sunshine. He got out and he was like, oh man, he said, nobody prepared me. Like, I thought I was good, you know, because it's like, oh, you can't tell me nothing. And he realized, hey, it's different. It's so different in the civilian world. So,
yeah, it's definitely different. Yeah, that's what you want to call it. It's that.
Right? It's different. So, you seem like right now you kind of got your stuff going pretty good right now to be ready for when you do decide to retire. I know that you do your radio, your show. Can you tell us a little bit about your show and how y'all started it?
Okay, so it was started. The show as it's constructed now was started, I think, 3 months ago. So me and Miss Anita, we decided to. We had started with someone else. It was 3 of us, and then it went to 2. It's just me and Miss Anita, and we started. We came up with the concept, and we said we call it Houston Wake Up because we're from Houston, but our show is globally. Like, we get people from all over. It's nationwide, and so. And we call it Wake Up because we want you to wake up, not just in the morning. It's in the morning, so just wake up. But we want you to wake up just mentally, spiritually, physically. Wake up. Just get we wanted something like your morning coffee. We wanted something to say, hey, man, this is what we did. And so, me personally, I can't even say, hey, I constructed this. This was something that I thought of a long time ago, had to plan. No, it was, I'll be honest with you, it was God. It was something that He put in front of me and was like, Tristan, your talents is made for this. And I brought Miss Anita along, and we connect. We always connect. And so she had the same talent that I had. We are connectors of people.
Yes.
So it went from connection, and then we started getting these business owners. Now, I'm not a business person. That like business is far. I wouldn't have never. If you told me, "Hey, I host a business show," I would tell you crazy. I don't know anything about business. I didn't 5 months ago. I do now. But I started meeting entrepreneurs. Not just a lot of them black, but just all type of entrepreneurs, real estate. People who own serial entrepreneurs. I didn't even know what a serial entrepreneur was, but now I know. You know what I'm saying? Serial entrepreneurs. People own multiple businesses. Millionaires open corporations. I met these people, and I connected with these people. And so when I connected with these people, they resonated with me. And so now through our show, we connect business owners with other business owners. Say you come into Houston and you knew, because there's the statistics show there's 1,000 people moving to Houston a day, right? So it's an influx of people moving to Houston. So you come in Houston, you don't know anybody, but you have a business. You say you're a nail, you do hair, you do lashes. I can connect you with all the people in the beauty industry. I can connect you with people who do what you do. You say you in trucking, I can connect you with 10 people who do trucking. I know 10 people like, hey, I know this person do this. You want credit? I know credit. You want a house? I know 10 realtors. And that's all for my room. And that's all we've been doing it. I've been doing it since the beginning of the year. So I learned more about business in 6 months than I learned in 6 years, because of the room that I hold and because of my show and the people that I met. So that's Houston Wake Up. We have we say we the connect to the connect. We the plug to keep the light on. That's what we do.
I like that.
And so that's what me and Miss Anita valued it, and that's what we wanted. We wanted high vibrations, connections, fun, and we also have fun doing it. And so we want that's the whole goal of the show, was to connect people and have fun doing it and make people feel like a family. It just wasn't like, hey, don't come in here in our room and sell what you want and get up out. We had Clubhouse full of that. You could sell. Who are you? Why? People buy from people they like, people they relate from. Who are you? What's your story? Come in your room, you tell your story, who you are. We relate to these people. We know these people because we know their stories. So I put my name means something to me and to people who know me. So if I say, hey, this is the person, I want that to resonate with you and say, hey, Tristan says this the guy. So I believe that's the guy. And I can't do that if I don't know you.
Right.
I don't resonate with you. You know what I mean? So you can't come in and sell, because with me and Miss Anita, we come from the military. We come from a different background, come from a different cloth. So we move differently. And so we act differently. And so we stand on what we believe on. And, you know what I mean? Even if, everybody else don't. But that's what makes, I feel like that's what makes our show different. That's what makes it, because we stand on what we say. If we say, hey, that's what that person, and if you mess up, we will get you out of that. We will tell you to your face, like, hey, you're not for us. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you, and we don't have no problem. You know what I mean? We're not person out here trying to get. We want as many people as possible, but we want quality over quantity. So if we, you know what I mean? If we get quiet, if I take 10 quality people over 500 scrubs any day, because that's the value I want to bring to my room. I wanted the value that you get out the room, or the value that you get out my show. I want you to get some, like you said, them gems and jewels. I want you to get something that help your business grow, because if you win, I win. So at the end of the day, we have on Wednesday, we call them one of my favorite days, right? Each day we have a different theme and topic. We talk about business, lifestyle, current events, right? So Wednesdays, one of my favorite days. I made it the day, I call it Flex on them Wednesdays. Celebrate your win. I say I made that day because I feel like people in our community don't celebrate our wins. We are told to be humble. We're told that you got to shut up and keep grinding. But celebrate the win. Even if we make you celebrate your, even if it's small. Even, hey, I didn't get a win. I woke up today. That's a win. That's another day of grinding. That's another day of you growing. That's another day of you trying to get your business better. So on Wednesdays, I want you to celebrate what you win. Because if you celebrate, not only if you celebrate your win, you can also celebrate somebody else's win. Because it's a community. I feel like we don't celebrate each community. We're trying to get rid of the crab in the bucket mentality. You need to celebrate. You can't succeed unless your buddy succeed. Right. Your network, you know what the saying is. Your network is your network. Who you surround yourself with is going to show you how successful you're going to be. So to me, it's not about how many people, how many millions, or what I make. It's about how I help somebody make, what I've helped somebody do. Because at the end of the day, that's what I think. It's about our community. And one of our godfathers, one guy's coming, he said, we're building a town to build a city to build a country. He said, when you got you got a town, you got everybody in the town working as a one. So that's what foundation of our show is. It's a little town, that's growing into a city. But like I say, it's about the collective. It's about us helping people and helping each other to grow exponentially, and it is working.
I love that. It's so in our society, it's so many people try to they don't want to share what they've done, or they don't want to share how they did what they did because they're afraid someone else is going to copy what they did. And it's like, look, we can all eat. Let's collaborate together. And I love the fact that that's what you guys are doing. It's a win for everybody. If I win, you win.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's the goal. It's, and like you say, in our community, and is, hey, you get I got mine, and hey, I'm going to protect it, and I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna share anything else with anybody else because I got mine, right?
Right.
But no other community is not like, no other community is like that. You can't
Mm-hmm.
thrive that way because you're the only one who gets. Nobody else. You teach no one else nothing. You give no one you give no one else nothing. You give nothing to the collective. You just take.
Mm.
But you didn't get that by yourself. Somebody
Nope.
gave you something.
Mm.
Somebody helped you. So
Amen.
why do you, in our community, why do we not feel obligated to help our fellow man?
Mm.
Somebody helped you.
Mm-hmm.
You can say you independent, all you scream independent. No one does nothing, everything on their own.
Sure don't.
So to believe that, and to praise that or say that, it's crazy to me because I'm like, no, somebody helped you. Somebody helped you do this. Somebody helped you that. Somebody believed in you before you believed in yourself.
Hello. Amen. Amen. Like, I'm telling you, gems. I'm surprised that I hadn't heard more about you guys, because like I started insta stalking you guys because I was interested and I saw what some of the stuff that you guys are doing, and I was like, I wish that I had known, because to me a lot of what you guys are doing, I was like, oh, I would love to do that. The one specifically that I saw, you guys did the shoot and sip.
Absolutely. Great time.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did that start? How did you guys come up with that?
So what we did was we met, we started with the events. So we collabed with one of the biggest networking of groups in Houston. It's called Houston Millennials. So we went to one of their, Miss Anita had been going to the events, and so she was like, we need to link up with this group because they doing big events. They do a event every month. They actually doing an event tonight. It's a millionaires brunching. Like they got these like 4 millionaires on a panel talking. So they do these amazing events in Houston. So I'm like, okay. So they had a event called Bosses and Heels. It was to empowerment, women empowerment brunching, like a networking event.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like $100 for guys. So I paid the $100 because I was like, hey, I'm going out. I knew I was going to make the connection. Mm-hmm. So we went and we actually connected with the president. His name Ivan Sanchez. We connected and he said, hey, I want to collab with you guys. And so we collab with him and he was like, hey man, yeah, come, collab. And so we did an event with him, and we brought, through our clubhouses, we brought probably 20, 30 people. And I'm not talking about just from Houston. We had people from Atlanta. We had people from DC. We had people from all over the country, Vegas, come to Houston to go to this event that we had convinced, hey, this is, just come see us.
Wow.
And so once we did that, and we had shirts and all this, once we did that, we was like, we could throw our own events. It was that sign that say, hey, you could do this on your own. We never had thought about branching out like that. You know what I mean? We had just did it because we had already had the connection. We was like, but after that happened, we was like, hey, we can branch out on our own. And so we decided, it's like, hey, we seen what, and it's like, hey, we gonna throw our own weekend. We collab with another. They had a weekend, another room, they had a whole Houston weekend, and they wanted to collab. Well, we was like, we end up doing our own weekend. So we came up, we thought about it. We had a committee and said, hey, this is what we're gonna do. So so that was July 9th through the 11th was Houston summer fun weekend, and that's what we came up with. And so we started on the 9th. We had a cocktails and conversations. So we went to Pele Pele, a South African restaurant, and nice restaurant, and everybody came and they meet and greet, and you bring family ever, and we ate and we just collabed, networked. From there we had a karaoke night. We rented out a Spotlight karaoke, rented out a whole karaoke room, and we had a blast. Me and Miss Anita hosted it. I could DJ, so I DJ'd it, and we turned the place out. And we was like, oh my God, OMG, right? And so at the end so Saturday we were supposed to we wanted like a fitness day. So ended up getting canceled because of the weather, but we had a bike ride planned. Then after the bike ride, we was gonna have a family day in the park. And so we ended up going to an arcade called Cidercade, and everybody went and chilled and played video games. But that was the plan, right? So we was going to have a bike ride, because that was one of our pillars, is fitness. So we was going to have bike ride, and we was going to network and have people bringing out their family. And then Sunday, we ended it with the shoot and sip. We had a guy come in our room who was going to come on our show. He's a licensed gun dealer. He's black gun dealer and gun instructor.
Okay.
Two hard things to find. First one, I don't know many black gun dealers, and I don't know many black gun instructors.
Exactly.
So he's both. So he had a corporate account. He had already had the range set up for us, and he educated, and it also helped you get your CDL, your license to carry. So you could get we was like set up, hey, you come out, you're gonna shoot, then sip, and you're gonna be able to you're gonna get educated, and you're gonna be able to get your license to carry. It's gonna be informational about weapons. We probably had I don't know, 20, 25 guns out there, different type of guns, and we did all these moving targets, tactical targets, and all these things that, a lot of, like Miss Anita, she had never shot a gun. So, he showed her how to shoot, basically how, because they had a few women who had who shot, but, hadn't shot their gun in a while. So we went out there and he showed us, he educated us on, gun safety. We did all that. We also cleaned the weapons. So he showed you how to clean your gun. So all this instruction, and then we sipped and had a blast. But it was, like I said, it was educational but fun, and that was our whole purpose. And now it was probably, like I said, it was probably 5 or 6 people out there, and then they seen the videos, and people are still talking about that. That's so now we have to do it again, because I'm ready for it. But it was the funnest. To me, it was the highlight. The karaoke, I had a blast too. But to me, the shoot and sip was something, because that's unique. And it was something that our community lacks. So it was not only the educational, it's something that it's our Second Amendment right. But we are not, other communities are educating their kids at a young age about weapons. And so we're lacking. You don't even understand how far behind we are in this situation. We're behind. So the fact of the matter is to know your rights, and he knows all the gun laws in Texas. So he read the bill. Like I said, we're gonna have a new constitutional carry, which means that you don't have to have a open concealed handgun license. It's gonna be Wild Wild West. So it's important for you to be able to know how to protect yourself, because the bad guys gonna have guns.
Yep.
The people who want to do something to you, they're gonna have a gun. So you should probably want to have a gun too. I know people are not, you got your people who are not for non-violence, but I'm just, it's better to be prepared to not be prepared.
I
so,
agree.
You know what I mean?
I'll be
I'd
honest.
rather be proactive than reactive.
Right. I'll be honest. For me, like I have one. I have a gun. And that was one of the best things for me, and going out and actually being able to shoot it, because a lot of times we do get scared to having guns, not knowing the proper how to properly shoot it, how to clean it and everything. So I was thankful that someone had taught me, and the fact that now you're doing this to educate us in our community, it's definitely needed. Definitely needed.
Absolutely. So. I would, you know what I mean? I didn't think about it, at first we did it for fun, and, we had a guy, but it was so it was so educational, and I'm like, man, our community needs it. Our community needs this. If we need it. And, it's not, I'm not saying there's not people doing it, but I don't know many who is. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, a group, like, hey, it's a black group out here going to shoot. Like, that's we do a lot of other stuff, but
right.
I just don't know. I just don't know too many groups that highlight that's out here doing that.
Right. I love it that you guys are doing that. And Lord willing, I want to be at the next one. So you'll have to let me and everybody know when the next one is.
It's October 23rd, and that will be a Saturday. And so it's probably going to be at the same range, which is at Eagle Lake, it's outside of Houston. But it's going to be October 23rd. Second shooting sip, Houston Wake Up shooting sip, October 23rd.
All right. You heard it. October 23rd. Shooting sip.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
Houston Wake Up. HoustonWakeUp.com, and we got the website, and so follow us on Instagram. Clubhouse is Club Action and Impact, and our show is Houston Wake Up. So if you want to follow us, you will get the information of when the next event, because we're doing another shoot and sip, and we're working on another karaoke, and we're working on a game night. So we're working on events.
All right, you heard him. Check him out. I know I definitely will be. Now that I know, I'll definitely be checking you guys out. So I want to thank you so much for doing this interview, and for telling us about what you guys do. I definitely I appreciate it. I want you guys to know where you can find me. He's told you where you can find him, and Houston Wake Up. So you can find me at The Melanated Veteran on Facebook and IG, and check us out at www.themelanatedveteran. I am your host, Miss Mesha, signing off, saying embrace what makes you you.